Hey everyone, my name is ChaosInSky13, and welcome to my Pokemon Tag video. If you don't know what Pokemon Tag is, I'll give you a quick description. It's basically, I don't know who started it, but a bunch of PokeTubers, YouTubers have been doing it where you just answer 28 questions, 27 of which are related to Pokemon, and then after you answer all the questions, you tag two other people, and they have to make a video answering the same questions. EuphAuric tagged me, my friend EuphAuric. If you don't know who he is, you need to go check him out. I'll leave his link in the description. And let's go ahead and get started. What is your favorite Pokemon type is the first question. My favorite type? I'm going to be that guy and say Dragon. So many Pokemon that I love are Dragon types. And there are other types that I love more than Dragon types. But if I were to collectively make a list of some of my favorite Pokemon, then there would be too many Dragon types on the list for me to not say Dragon is my favorite type. And I know that's probably a pretty common favorite, but that's my favorite, and I'm not going to change it because it's common. What is your favorite region? I assume this means just overall, when I first read this question, I was thinking, does it mean in the design of the region, or does it mean the region as a whole? Everything, the story of it, what happens in the region, not just the look of the region. And either way, my answer would still be Hoenn. Hoenn was the first region that I ever got to interact with. I absolutely adored Hoenn. I loved a lot of people complain about all the water. I loved the island feel of it with the amount of water. Even though, Tentacles were annoying, Zubats were still more annoying. So, I definitely loved it. I love the story in Hoenn. I love the Pokemon, and especially with how it looks now in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, I fell in love with Hoenn all over again, man. It was great. The third question is, which Pokemon games do you own? I probably should have gone over this before I started this video, but let me just do a mental count in my head. I might miss a few of them. I have Silver and Blue, got those from my cousin. I had Yellow, I don't think I have anymore, I'm pretty sure I lost it. But I do still have Blue and Silver, they're on my desk now, actually. I have Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, I have all three. I lost my original copies, but I bought them again a while back. I also have Fire Red and Leaf Green, I got all 5 of those together in a pack online at one point. What else do I have? Do I have Diamond and Pearl? I think I only have Diamond now. I used to have Pearl, but I only have Diamond now. I have Platinum, I know. I have Black and White and Black 2 and White 2. I have X and Y. And then I have Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I'm going through them all in my head, making sure I'm not forgetting one of the games. That's why I'm taking a while to answer this. I'm making sure that I'm not skipping over a remake or something. I almost skipped over Platinum. As for, going into the spin-off games, I have Coliseum and XD Gale of Darkness. I have all of the Mystery Dungeon games, except for Red Rescue Team, because it was GBA, and I was on DS at that time. I have the Blue Rescue Team, I have Explorers of Time and Explorers of Darkness, and I have Explorers of Sky, and I have Gates to Infinity. Never even beat it. I hate that game. They totally took one of the best spin-offs ever and just destroyed it. And Gates to Infinity was garbage. Anyways, maybe it got better later on. I couldn't take playing it anymore. I also have Pokemon Conquest, which is also one of the best spin-offs ever. I love Pokemon Conquest. I already said Gale of Darkness and Coliseum, I believe. If I didn't, then I do have those. And I think that's it. I did have Battle Revolution for a little while, but I ended up selling it because I didn't use it enough and I needed money at the time. I think that's all of the games that I have. I think so. What's the next question? Question number 4. Question number 4. In the games, which gender do you normally play as? I play as a male. I'm a guy, so I play as a male character. It's just what I do. I have played as the female character before because I used to restart the games constantly. Because I had both. Whenever they came out, I usually bought both. So I would just play them both. And if I wanted to play them more, then I would end up restarting, and sometimes I would play as the girl just to see if there were any differences, because sometimes there are some small differences. I need to take a quick drink. Sorry about that. The next question is, do you watch the anime? No. I do not watch the anime at all. I used to when I was younger. Don't watch it now. I wouldn't be able to sit down and watch it. I stopped watching during Hoenn. I didn't even watch all of Hoenn. Got near the end of Hoenn, stopped watching. I just lost interest. If you like the anime, more power to you. I hope you enjoy it, but it's just not my cup of tea. How many seen in the Pokédex of your latest game? I meant to get my 3DS out to check that. You know what? I'm gonna go on to the next question while I turn on my 3DS and see how many I have seen. In that game, how many owned? I'll come back to that question in a second. Do you even like Pokemon? No. No, I don't. I despise Pokemon. This game is full of hacks, and it takes forever to breed stuff, and it's got a bunch of math with EVs and IVs, and I always get frozen for like 6 turns as a Scrafty when I'm a freaking Azumarill, and it sucks, man. It sucks. Real talk, though, I love Pokemon. I don't know what I would absolutely hate it if I lost Pokemon. If I didn't have Pokemon in my life, so many things would be different. It's not even funny. The question after that is, do you collect the trading cards? No. My answer is the answer of most people. I used to, way back in the day, when I was younger. I actually still have them all in my entertainment center across my room. I don't have, like, people say they've got, like, 3 binders full, and they've got, like, this giant cardboard box full of them. That's not me. I've got, like, 2 stacks that are about as long as my forearm, and that's all I got. But yeah, I am now in my Pokemon game. Let me open up my Pokedex, and I'll go back to these other questions. Where are they? How many seen in the Pokedex of your latest game? National Pokedex. My number seen is that seen? 367? I have seen 367 out of the... How many Pokemon are we up to now? 721, I think? 711? We're a little over 700 with the current total amount of Pokemon. I have never seen a Bulbasaur and an Ivysaur in this game. Interesting. But, and then, what was the question after that? In that game, how many owned? I own 294. So there you go. That's how many I've seen and how many I own. Where was I? I just answered the trading card question. The one after that is, if you have the trading cards, do you play the game or just collect? I have the trading cards, I don't collect anymore, and I do not play the game. But 2 of the biggest things that I want to get into right now is playing the TCG and doing the VGC, Nintendo's official tier. But unfortunately, I don't have the time for either right now, and I'd probably try and get into VGC before I try to get into TCG. The next question is, do you draw Pokemon? No, and thank goodness I don't, because the world would explode from how bad they look. I have trouble drawing Voltorb. Voltorb! All you have to do is draw a circle. Then again, who doesn't have trouble drawing a circle? Like, perfect circles, unless you're SpongeBob in that one episode of SpongeBob where he, like, drew the head or whatever and erased it. You can't draw, like, very few people can get perfect circles. I am not one of those very few people. What is your favorite Pokemon? My favorite Pokemon is Breloom, who I affectionately call Bayloom. You will probably see 90% to 99% of my Brelooms are female and named Bayloom. It started in my stream. That name started in my streams because I stream Pokemon a lot, and Breloom has been my favorite Pokemon for a long time. When I was really young, I was stupid. I only used my starter when I played the game. But when Emerald came around, that was in Ruby and Fire Red. When Emerald came around, I decided I'm going to catch a couple of Pokemon to go with my starter. And I usually always pick Trico in the Hoenn games, but because I had just finished Ruby again with only using Sceptile, I chose Blaziken instead. So I caught a Shroomish, got Breloom. Breloom was one of the Pokemon that carried me through the game, and I just fell in love with Breloom, and I love using him in competitive. Whenever I'm making my team, one of the first things I go for is, can I use Bayloom in this team effectively? So yeah, that's the answer to that. What is your second favorite? Manectric. Manectric was pretty much the same case as Breloom. He was one of the Pokemon that I got when I finally started using more than just my starter, and I just used him so much, I fell in love with him. I love his design. When I first saw his Mega, I didn't love him that much, you know. He was the big Thunderbolt. He was the Pokemon that was like, oh, he's an electric type, we gotta make him look like a Thunderbolt, but it grew on me. It grew on me, and I like to use Mega Manectric in competitive too. Mega Manectric and Mega Gardevoir are my go-to Megas when I'm thinking of what Mega to put on a team, especially when I need a special attacker. The next question is, what is your favorite Legendary? My favorite Legendary is Rayquaza, of course. You know, being a Hoenn fanboy and all that. But just the design and everything, even if I think that, I'm pretty sure Rayquaza would be my favorite even if I hadn't started in Hoenn, if I'm being perfectly honest. What is your second favorite? My second favorite Legendary? That's a little tough. I want to say... that is really tough, because, I mean, Rayquaza wins as my favorite, but not by a huge margin. A lot of second places. Given the new Primal forms, I'd probably say Primal Groudon, because he was my first Legendary, period. And normally, stuff like being the first, it takes a little more than just being the first of something for me. I have to have more of a connection to it than just being the first. But that helps that it was my first, and Groudon's design is awesome, and his new Primal form, especially when shiny, I completely love it. Absolutely love it. If it wasn't Groudon, I'd probably say Zekrom, because Zekrom is amazing. The next question is, do you know what number 493 is in the Pokedex? It is Arceus. I have seen Pokemon tag videos in the past 2 days, so I'm kind of cheating, but I knew what number it was before. I know Deoxys is 386. I knew Arceus was 493. I can't remember exactly what number Genesect is. I just know he's the last poke in the Unova Dex. I think he's 549 or something like that. I'm not sure what number Genesect is, but I knew that Arceus was 493, and I knew that Deoxys was 386. My next question is, would you rather have a Meowth or a Growlithe? Like I said, I've seen some Pokemon tag videos. Everyone says Growlithe, and at first I was the same. I was like, yeah, Growlithe. But then I started thinking, I'm taking Meowth. You know why I'm taking Meowth? When Meowth evolves, it's a Persian. I can ride a Persian if I want, just like I can ride an Arcanine. It might not be as awesome, but I can ride a Persian. And better than that, before my Meowth evolves, bam, Payday, I'm rich. Or it talks, and it can't use Payday. Either way, I win. Really, though, it has Payday. Every Meowth in the universe, except for Team Rocket's Meowth, knows Payday. And, in the Poke universe, it gets you rich, so I assume it'll work for me in real life. Those coins are gold, as far as I can tell, so... Bam, I'm rich. You guys are riding on an Arcanine. I'm in a jet plane with 4 PS4s hooked up to 20 different televisions. So, who's the real winner? I don't know. Probably still the guy riding the Arcanine, but I still feel pretty good being filthy rich. Next is, do any of your relatives play Pokemon? My 2 cousins do. My 2 cousins do. And I think that's all. I don't think anyone else in my family plays Pokemon. Pretty much just me and my 2 cousins. They don't play it as much anymore because, they got older and busier. They still play, just not as much as I do. The next question is, how often do you think about Pokemon? Honestly, probably at least once a day. Once a day. What am I saying? I can't talk. I probably think about Pokemon at least once a day, I would have to say. More than likely. I think that's a safe assumption to make. Maybe 1 or 2 days I slip and I don't think of Pokemon that day, and then later, the next day, I think about it twice as hard to make up for it, but yeah. Do you hide the fact that you like Pokemon from your real-life friends? Not really. I don't exactly go out and broadcast it. I'm not constantly talking about Pokemon to my real-life friends. Honestly, I don't see my real-life friends very much. I don't have very many real-life friends. The guy on the internet doing YouTube videos doesn't have very much real-life friends. Ooh-hoo-hoo. But, no, I just don't. A lot of the people around my town don't play video games, period, and that's a big part of my life. And they're all into sports and stuff, and sports is cool and all, but I'm not a big sports person. So I don't have any close real-life friends, but the few that I do have, I'm pretty sure most of them know I like Pokemon, but we don't talk about it usually, and I don't go broadcasting it, but I don't hide it from them. I don't actively try and be like, oh no, I don't like Pokemon. But I don't go and hey, I like Pokemon. Anyways, the next question is, what pets do you have that resemble Pokemon? I'm gonna assume that this question encompasses my entire life, as in not just the pets I have now, because I only have one now. I used to have a turtle, reminded me of Turtoga, even though it wasn't a sea turtle. It was a box turtle. I loved that thing. Turtoga didn't even exist back then because I was really young, but looking back on it, I would definitely have named it Turtoga if I had known Turtoga was a thing at the time. And then I have a dog now. He's a black pug, and he's 12. He's getting on in his years, and his his chin, mouth area is really white, and every time I look at him, I think, if that was white instead of black, because he's a black pug, so his fur is all black except for where it's now white because of his age, I always think, if that was red instead of white, you would look like a Houndour. So, he kind of resembles a Houndour, not really. Very, very loosely resembles a Houndour. The next question is, what Pokemon do you hate the most? Skiploom. I hate Skiploom. I despise it. I hate its evolutionary line. Screw Skiploom. If you didn't catch the irony, my favorite Pokemon is Breloom. My least favorite is Skiploom. They both end in loom. How's that for irony? Anyways, if you don't know why I hate Skiploom, there's a video on my channel explaining it very well. I'll put it in the description if I remember to. If I don't, then just call me out in the comments. I'll put it in the description. You can go watch that video, and you'll learn of my hatred for Skiploom. The next question is, I keep losing where I am because I look up to make sure that my mic is still working instead of keeping my eyes on the questions. Which evolution do you like the best? This is hard, but my answer is Jolteon. Espeon is a very, very, very close second. You have no idea how close of a second Espeon is. But Jolteon it's another occasion where first doesn't have a big influence, but it has a small enough influence to where Jolteon beats Espeon. It was my first evolution. I needed an electric type at the time when I was playing Fire Red, so I Thunderstoned my Eevee. I got Jolteon. I just love his design. He's the only one without, like, the super long tail, which I thought was interesting, how it's kind of a... Sylveon doesn't really have a super long tail, does it? I think some ribbons come out where its tail is, and that counts as its tail. I don't remember Sylveon's design exactly off the top of my head. But Jolteon always seemed a little unique out of the others, you know, the whole tail thing. I just liked his design. He looked awesome to me. And plus, electric types are sweet. One of my top favorite types. Not as good as Dragon, but it's up there. Still waiting on that Draggy evolution. The next question is, which cast form is the best? Who made these questions? The normal one, because it knows it's garbage, and even if it changes forms, it's still garbage, so it just stays normal. That's the best cast form. No, you know what? I'm going to change that answer. The Sandstorm form, because it doesn't exist. Why not? It's the only weather condition form it doesn't have. I want a Sandstorm cast form. I would use it if it actually was a thing. Which Deoxys form is the best? They're all so great. I want to say... Man, they're all really good. I'm going to have to go with Attack. Because I'm normally an attack more than a defense kind of guy. Defense was my second choice. Speed was my third. Because when I think of speed, I just think... Speed is good, but Attack is basically a better looking speed in my opinion. But I like the look of Attack. It's like how it's sharper than the other ones, kind of. You know what I'm talking about. It still keeps the two DNA arms, because, you know... They're not intertwined like they are in normal form, but it's still got the whole DNA thing going, because it's the DNA Pokemon. It doesn't look as DNA-ish when you look at it on defense form, or speed form. Yeah, I'd say Attack. Articuno, Zapdos, or Moltres? Zapdos. Easy. Easiest question on this list. Zapdos. For the win. I love Zapdos. I love using defensive Zapdos in competitive. I love using Zapdos, period, in competitive. I love Zapdos, period. Ever since I saw Zapdos, I knew he was my favorite bird. And, man, I can't get over how much I love Zapdos. But yeah, definitely Zapdos. I'm not going to go too much into it, because if I start to get on a tangent of Zapdos, we're going to be here for another 5 minutes. And this video is already almost 20, and most other Pokemon tags I've seen are like 10-ish. Around 10, like 10 to 15. Lugia or Ho-Oh? That's a little difficult for me. But I am going to go with Lugia, which is one of the most common answers. I've only seen one person answer Ho-Oh. Shout out to EuphAuric. And I see your point, and I also agree with you on Ho-Oh. Most people say it's Lugia, and they're like, easy, Lugia. But for me, I say it's kind of difficult to choose. But in the end, King of the Seas, the ruler of the birds, of my man, the one who controls my man Zapdos, who can turn, like, spin around and make himself into a whirlpool, basically uses Terra Force like Wargreymon. Definitely got to go with Lugia. Which two people will you tag is the final question. I had to think about this for a little while, because I'm a little late to the getting tagged game, so a lot of the people I know that I would tag have already been tagged. Some of them haven't done their videos yet, but they've been tagged. I know they have. I've seen the videos where they've been tagged. I'm gonna have to go with... I don't think SharpDressedGaming has been tagged yet. I looked before, and I don't think he's been tagged, so definitely my man Sharp. I'm gonna tag you, Sharp. I better see some good answers from you, man. I'm expecting some good ones. And who was the other one I decided to tag? Gearhart. I was going to tag Gearhart. I don't know Gearhart super well, but I was in one of his UU tournaments before. He seemed like a really cool dude. I've seen a couple of his vids. He's a cool looking dude. I like his vids. So I'll tag you. I don't think you've been tagged, Gearhart. I looked at your channel and saw you didn't have it up yet. And I glanced over your Twitter. It didn't seem like anyone had tagged you or told you about it. So yeah, I'm going to tag SharpDressedGaming and Gearhart. I'll leave their links in the description so you can go check them out if you want, so that you can see when their tag videos go up. I'll also have EuphAuric's link in the description so you can go see him. He's a really cool dude. You can go watch his tag video where he tagged me. And I think that's going to be it. That was the 28th question. So thank you all for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I definitely did. Thank you for tagging me, EuphAuric. At first when I saw this, I was like, I hope no one tags me. But now that I've actually done the video, I'm glad you tagged me. I appreciate it, man. And Sharp, Gearhart. I expect to see those videos soon. I'm looking forward to seeing your guys' answers. I love seeing videos like this. So until next time, farewell.